Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It is the 20th of January already. And what a weekend we have had. What a strange weekend we've had. It all started very early on Saturday morning in Europe, very late on night on Friday. Gary Gensler stepped down. And within about 5 or 6 hours, we had mayhem. Now, the mayhem didn't just last all Saturday. The mayhem also carried on into Sunday, and we're going to talk about that today. Much as I don't want to talk about it, we're going to have to. Much as I don't like talking about these types of coins, there is a need, and that is why the title of this show today is called Top Trumps. Donald Trump hasn't even taken seat in the office, and already he is causing mayhem in the crypto markets. We've been below 100,000. We've just hit all-time highs. He's got his own coin. His wife's got his own coin. We're going to look at it all. We're going to look also at the golden cross on Bitcoin. We're going to look at the ETFs. We're going to look at Trump. We're going to look at Melania coin. We are going to look at ADA. We're going to look at Sol and Vitalik. So there's no real agenda for this show today because we're probably going to keep referencing the fact that Trump has walked in and stepped on everybody in his size 12s, and I don't know what else we can do. If you're new here, smash the like button, say hello in chat, give us a follow and a subscribe. We try and stream every day. I am poorly today. I have man flu. Today, and I feel very poorly, and I will get no sympathy from anybody. I agree, but I'm trying to get through with my coffee. So if I'm coughing a bit on the stream, I do apologize. Now, Bullish Bull's portfolio has hit all-time highs. I don't think my portfolio is at an all-time high today. I think I'm pretty close to an all-time high on my portfolio. I'm just going to double check because, of course, we are at all-time highs for Bitcoin. It is no. I'm close. I am 5% away from my all-time high. Which is, it's not bad going, is it really? Right, shall we look at the charts then? Let's see what is going on in the world of crypto. Bitcoin, 108,000. I have updated the target, by the way, bottom right-hand corner. 84,000 was the target. That was the target before this pump. And we wicked to 89 and change, and that's where we held. We held 90,000. We wicked just below 100,000 at some point last night or this morning. That seems to have held. Now we're back at all-time highs. It's been one hell of a ride so far in the last 2.5 years. And I don't expect any different for the next 8, 9, 10 months. So Bitcoin is up. Ethereum is, I think that's the best way we should leave it. XRP, still well over $3. Solana had, what a weekend Solana had. Solana went up to, what, 280? Again, we're at 262 for Solana. People talk about the death of coins. You hear it all the time. Cardano is dead. XRP is dead. Solana has done nothing. It's doing nothing. It's just jealousy on those chains. I made a video yesterday about Trump, and I explained my thoughts on it, which we're going to go through later on when we talk about Trump and Melania coin. But the one thing that stood out was the amount of abuse Solana got yesterday. Solana stayed up for the duration of the launch of a new coin that did, what was it, 30 billion, 20 billion in volume in 24 hours, and it stayed up. Yesterday evening, when Melania coin dropped, everybody that was trying to buy or sell Trump, everybody that was trying to buy or sell Melania, absolutely caved in. Something like 500,000 new wallets were created over the weekend. 500,000 new people were onboarded to Solana over the weekend, and it struggled. But at the end of the day, it's easy for Cardano to turn around and say, well, we can process 1 million transactions. You're not, though, are you? That's the thing. You're not. It's like being a little tiny amateur football team and then complaining that Man United are getting sellout crowds and they're not doing very well. you're never going to get 76,000 people into your little tiny grass field. So get back in your lane, stick to what you're good at, and let Solana stick to being a retail blockchain. And that, I'm not a maxi on Solana, but it's just this green-eyed monster is going to kill you at the end of the day. You need to stay focused. Anyway, let's have a look at the gainers and the losers. It is pretty crazy, as I said. Melania is at just under $11. We're going to try and look at the Melania chart. It's not got a lot to it. SPX is up. Aave is up. Chainlink's having a good run, back at $25. ENS is up. I mean, again, there's a few things up. Hype is up. I know one of the it's like a VC NFT project. I mean, they've just gone out and bought more Hype. Trump is down to $53. I think it topped out at somewhere near $76, $78. We're going to talk about that in a bit. Dupe is down, but it's still over $1. I think we went into the weekend below $1. So we've had a very volatile weekend. Sonic is down. Virtuals, again, some of the meme coins and some of the AI projects on Solana are down. And they're down for one reason and one reason alone. And that is the liquidity that went into Trump came out of all of the existing projects on Solana and on some of the centralized exchanges as well. So what you found over the weekend, especially on Saturday, you found an awful lot of coins on Solana drop 20%. Pudgy Penguins was down as well, I think. But then on the other side, you had Jupiter and Camino, which are the finance-related projects. They were ripping. So all of the liquidity in all of the projects that people are going to sell first, those ones dumped. And the ones that actually hold value or make money or actually have a value to them, they pumped. And that should be a clear indication to you that you need to be invested in serious projects. So just be careful what you invest in. Right then, top 10 global assets by market cap. This has changed since we looked at it last time. I think from what I remember, Bitcoin was in 10th position last time we talked about it. Maybe it had just overtaken silver. Look at it now. If we talk about a 50% pump from here and we go to 150,000, that would put Bitcoin almost in second place. And I think maybe a year and a half ago, when we talked about this, I said the objective for me of this bull run was to get Bitcoin second. And we are on the way. We are now 7th. We're going to take out Amazon. We're going to probably take out Alphabet and Amazon in the next month or so. And then it's going to be a real push to catch Apple, Nvidia, and Microsoft. Remember, we've now got Trump in power. So these are not fixed prices. Trump's in power, which means the likelihood is Microsoft, Google, Amazon, Apple, they are going to have amazing 4 years. So it's not set in stone. Bitcoin is going to struggle to hold second position. But who am I? I could be completely wrong. Potentially we could go to 5 trillion. Who knows? Good morning. Good morning, Kishan. Good morning, Tariq. Welcome to the stream. I'm a little bit croaky today. I'm a little bit under the weather. It's hilarious to see influencers who actively pumped and dumped coins on their followers for years complain and act like the moral authority because someone made a meme coin. Take a look in the mirror, or do you need someone to buy you one? Again, this Trump launch, and to some extent the Melania launch, it wasn't done with the help of these shillfluencers, okay? If you're in our Telegram group, you will know I warned you to be very careful with Trump. I put that up on Saturday morning when we were at $18. They've got no value, these coins. It's a hype-driven valuation. So just be careful. Gary Gensler watching Donald Trump launch a meme coin hours after he leaves the SEC. There he is, Gary Gensler. I actually tweeted out last night, please come back, Gary. Everything has gone to pot. You've walked out the door and it has become the Wild West. That's the issue. I'm waiting for a Tariq coin. That's what I'm waiting for. With a picture of a Tesla. That's what I think we need next. Right, moving very quickly on. This is the chart that we are fighting against. This is the DXY, and Bitcoin is now at all-time highs, whilst the DXY is way up at 109. Okay, we need, or we would like, should we say, we would like the DXY to start to come back down. Now, it did kind of top out on the 10th of January, 10 days ago, and we are starting to come down a wee bit. Okay, so what did we get to? 110? Let's have a look. Or did we break 110? 110.2. So we're down a touch, down 1%. But again, we've done that before, haven't we? We've gone up, and potentially we could go up again. Now, Bitcoin at all-time highs, going against the DXY at this level is pretty incredible at the end of the day. If the DXY comes down, even if it comes down to 106, around that area there, that's going to absolutely propel Bitcoin. Okay, so there are people talking about $120,000, $130,000 Bitcoin in the next couple of months, and you can't bet against them. You can't bet against those prices, because we now have Trump as of today. Now, this is the Bitcoin dominance chart. And again, we haven't looked at this too much, simply because we said that it would top out in the end of the year. My target was this target down here, which is 58%. Ben Cowan's target was 60%. Okay, he's far more intelligent than I am, as I've said before. But look where we are now, 59%. We did come down here, and now we are in this range, which looks to be breaking to the upside. What does this mean? It's great news for Bitcoin, not so good for your alts. Okay, we want Bitcoin dominance to break down below 54, break down below 56, that kind of range. We're at 59%. Again, it's just something to keep an eye on. This indicates to me we could move back up. So Bitcoin runs, Ethereum and the alts don't. That's what this says to me. And then potentially the reason for that move up will be the announcement of the Bitcoin Strategic Reserve. That would be the reason, in my eyes, why we would see a Bitcoin pump to 60% dominance. Because if that's announced today, there are 200 executive orders being put through today. One of them may very well be for Bitcoin or Bitcoin related. So that would be the reason for me why we would go up. And again, we are talking about fractions here. We're talking about going from 59 to 60%. It's not a massive move. But again, it gets us back above 60% Bitcoin dominance. And it would signify to me that Bitcoin isn't done. And maybe the alt season that everyone's been promising you, maybe that isn't here yet. Right then, let's move on very quickly. Bitcoin's latest golden cross might affect your holdings. Here's how. We're going to look at the Bitcoin chart after this as well. I'm just trying to keep an eye on chat. By the way, I have a poll of the day. Which one would you invest in, Trump or Melania? 67% of you have picked Trump. That's the right choice, in my opinion. If you're going to hold one of them, and again, we're going to talk about that in a minute. If you're going to hold one of them, you hold Trump, okay? And believe you me, I am expecting an Eric, I'm expecting a Junior, I'm expecting a Baron, I'm expecting every member of the family to have their own coin, okay? Now, whether that comes to fruition or not, who knows? But that's what I'm expecting. And again, we'll talk about that in a minute. So there's going to be a golden cross on Bitcoin. Since hitting a low of 89,000 a week ago, Bitcoin has seen a strong upward swing in the charts. It's made even more significant gains. As we know, today we've hit all-time highs. We're going to look at that in a minute. It was 105 probably last night when this was written. According to Crypto Quant's Burak Kesmesi, Bitcoin's 1 to 7 day UTXO average has crossed above the 7 to 30 day average. Good sign. Indicated the average cost basis of Bitcoin acquired over the past week is rising, growing interest despite recent price hikes. Now, the other thing that's going to happen this week is, of course, the ETFs are going to start buying. If Trump comes out and says the word Bitcoin at any point this week, the ETFs are going to buy, and we're going to talk about them next. But I cannot overestimate how bullish this week could potentially be. And I try not to be overly bullish on this channel or overly bearish on this channel. I try and steer a steady ship. But the hype around Trump, I mean, he was dancing on stage with the village people last night, doing his old dance. I can't compete with that. I can't try and say, you need to invest in Chainlink, you need to invest in Jupiter because they're profit-making enterprises. And then Trump comes out and drops a coin, which goes to 12, 20, 25 billion market cap. It's crazy. But sticking to Bitcoin, I think, you know what, let's move on to the Bitcoin chart. I think I'm going to run out of time today. I think that's the problem. So let's go and look at the Bitcoin chart when the browser decides to work. Because I think we are in for a wild ride. So I do. Good morning. If there is an announcement in favor of Bitcoin today, what ballpark all-time high? I'm not going as high as 120,000 yet. I think it depends on who you watch and what chart you look at. So, for example, some of the people out there are predicting 114,000. Some 120,000. I'm predicting 112,000. I'm going to be wrong. They're all going to be wrong. We're going to go to a number that we don't know yet. But based on the fibs, based on the potential, you know, where the buy and sell orders are in the market, it's going to be somewhere probably 112 to 114,000. Now, the issue is that all of this is going to get blown out the water. Okay, there are macro events which simply overtake the charts. Okay, and you have to be aware of that. You can watch your favorite streamer, and they can tell you X, Y, or Z. Okay. But they're going to be wrong because Trump's going to open his mouth. So I would say that if we're going to talk about ballpark figures for today, I think we need to get to about there. Okay, not far away. In fact, we can take some of these lines off now. This was the inauguration. This line here, this is when I think the end of the bull run is going to be. Okay, I think it's going to be, actually, no, it's not. Why is it? Oh yeah, okay, no. I'm lying. There is the bull run. Is that the end of the bull run? Or is that the end of the correction? Do you know, I don't know where my chart ends up. Okay, let's move this across here. I think I used this when I was making the dip video. So basically there's 3 dips this year: January, May, and September. They're the dips. And I redrew the chart for them. So I think there's going to be a dip in May. I think there's going to be a dip in September. And then we go to all-time highs. So I think today we should be looking about 115,000. Now, we are 5% from there. It's not a massive move, but we've already had a big move. Now, if you look at the daily RSI still gives us time to grow, okay? If we move this line down here, for example, to give us our new low, we're up to 85,000, okay? So the bottom at the minute for me is 85,000. That might sound crazy because we have Trump in power. But if you take 30%, 25% off where we are now, you're going to go down to maybe 85, 82,000. So it's still not a million miles away. Trump is going to pump us. I don't think it's going to go as high as everybody is expecting, because whenever we expect to go down, like we did last week, we held. When everybody expects us to go up, we don't. So I don't know is the answer. We need to see what he's got to say. But I think 115,000 today wouldn't be out of the question. But also 100,000 today wouldn't be out of the question. Again, we say the FOMC meeting in particular is a day, and the CPI, for example, is a day you shouldn't trade. The FOMC rate decision day is a day you shouldn't trade because the volatility is wild. Don't use leverage today. It's crazy. Yesterday we went between 99 and 106,000 in an hour or two. The Trump dump dumped the entire market as well. So just be careful. Leverage is great when it's based on the charts. Leverage is not so great when it's based on macro events. And the inauguration could be a massive green signal for the markets, a massive go signal for the markets. But if you're going to buy Bitcoin, you buy it today. You buy it tomorrow, you buy it the day after, and you ignore the price, okay? When we get towards this area over here, you don't buy anymore, okay? That's where there's a potential of a dump in May, and November is potentially the all-time high. It could be, I could be wrong, it could be June, could be May, June, all-time high. What's likely to happen is we do something like this. Summer lull, everyone's gone to Martha's Vineyard, and then all-time high. Okay, that's a possibility as well. But just, you know, hold your Solana, hold your Bitcoin. Remember what we said about Solana. Everybody trashes it. Solana's crap. And then suddenly Trump launches and Solana's at all-time highs. Everyone is now beating on Ethereum, okay? Ethereum's time to shine is the next 3 months. If we get to the end of March and Ethereum isn't over 38394, then we probably have a problem, okay? But we're not there yet. We've got a long way to go. Now then, if we're going to move on to what's going to be the next bullish indicator to come out for the markets, obviously we didn't expect Trump, so bear that in mind. A big drop. Yeah, I think there's going to be a big drop. When is the issue? When is the big drop going to happen? And the big drop is likely to happen when we go up too quickly and then we over leverage. And then the money makers, or the market makers, sorry, they will see all the liquidity maybe at 100,000. Remember, we're at 108,000. Let's say tomorrow we go to 120,000. And let's say we then have a 15% correction. That would bring us down to 103,000, and that'd be a pretty decent correction. But I did say in the video that I made about the corrections that the correction is the middle of January, and by the end of January we come out of it. So if we are going to have a correction, it's going to have to be pretty soon. However, a correction that takes us down to 80,000 or 85,000 from where we are now, I don't see that on the cards, okay? And I talk about cards, we'll talk about tarot cards, okay? I don't see it on the cards. I see 120, 103 or 102, then maybe back to 115, 125, 130, and then back down. I can see a lot more volatility. But again, it depends on Trump. Now, this is something that's going to pump the market. And I made a predictions video the very first week of January. And I said a couple of things. And one of them was the first ETF to be approved was going to be Litecoin. Okay? And the reason is, I believe it's the first one that's on countdown to being approved, and it should be approved, as far as I'm aware, by March or April. Now, that's obviously not the big one, but that's one of the reasons why Litecoin is pumping, and it may go back to 250, 300. It may do that, but we're a long way from that in a minute. And again, Gary Gensler is gone. The second he walked out that door, all of these applications came flying in, okay? And we are literally talking about, I was watching them in real time on Twitter with a couple of the ETF guys. James Seifert and Eric Balchunas were dropping them. They were flying through the door. So the key coins that you could want to hold for potentially good runs based on ETFs are Litecoin, XRP, Solana. Okay? There is the XRP one. The Litecoin is the one that is already in. Does it mention them in here? Does it mention Solana? Does it mention Litecoin? There's this. Well, we've got the Solana futures. Now, the issue is, okay, and I said this in another video I made last year. If we don't get if we get this, okay, so where's my mouse gone? There it is. Okay, so James Safer has said this. Now, there is no law that says you need a futures market before a spot market. There's no law that says that. And Eric Balchunas talked about this 2 months ago. He was saying that the argument that we can't have a Solana ETF this year is because there isn't a Solana futures market. Now, I don't know who he spoke to. I don't know when the conversation was, but it was back last year, maybe November, after Trump had won. And whoever he spoke to said that you do not need a futures market to launch a spot ETF. Now, if we do get the futures market first and we wait until 2026, that, based on historical data, is after the end of the bull run, which means that Solana won't have a 2025 blow off top with the ETF demand as well. So my two targets were $600 without an ETF and $1,000 with an ETF. And yes, you're going to be hearing people out there telling you about a $2,500, $3,500 Solana. Okay, I made a video for the OGs called the ET syndrome, okay? And the ET syndrome is very simple. These influencers are going to give you a price so far in the future of where you've got now that you're going to keep buying. And every one of you that buys incrementally pumps their bags. Because believe you me, they are going to be selling between May and November this year, okay? And you will be the ones holding the bag. 4 years ago, everybody told you we were going to $100,000. And we went to $69,000 and came down. And what did they do? They sold and then said, well, that was a surprise, wasn't it? We didn't hit 100,000. I saw Plan C or I think it was Plan C today, say that we're going to go to $250,000 in Bitcoin for Bitcoin, okay? That's dangerous, in my opinion, because what they do is they try and invalidate everybody else's opinion by saying, if you're saying 150,000 is the top, then you don't know what's coming. Now, that's fine. But if we're talking about Bitcoin being at 150,000 in November, and you listen to people like Plan C who say it's going to 250,000, you're not going to sell. Which means if the top is November, by March or April, May next year, we could be back at $100,000. And you've missed it because you listen to people giving you unrealistic targets. The same with Solana and XRP. We are not going to go to $100 for XRP. We are not going to go to $2,500 for Solana. It is not on the cards. It's not going to happen. But maybe $600 is overly pessimistic. Maybe $5 to $10 for XRP is overly pessimistic. But at least we're likely to hit those targets and not race to $2,500. $2,500 for Solana is going to be a 10x from where we are now. Now, we've just seen the launch of a token which went to $20 to $30 billion in 24 hours. And Solana pumped to $280. It didn't pump to $500. It didn't pump to $700. It went up 15, 20%. So if that amount of volume moves it by 15 or 20%, what volume is going to move it 1,000%? It doesn't exist, especially if we don't get an ETF. If there's no ETF for Solana this year, how are we going to break $1,000? That's the issue. Same with XRP. If XRP needs a futures, then we're going to struggle. We are going to struggle. Anyway, I'm not well enough to rant, so I'm going to try and not rant. But I am going to talk a little bit about Trump now. Again, John, if everybody longs Bitcoin today, there's going to be a long squeeze. When we came down to 100,000, the reason that we went up so quickly was the short squeeze. Why did they take the article down about Trump? Okay, we're going to look at the Trump chart. I don't know why the article's been taken down, but we'll go and have a look at the Trump chart. Now, So the issue is, yes, we can go up. Yes, we can go to the moon. But at some point, we have to come back to reality and we have to come back to Earth. Okay? Now, as you can see, these are very difficult charts to look at because they've been around since Saturday. So we've only really got maybe the half hour, 15-minute chart to look at. Now, I warned everybody here about this token. Okay? Now, I don't care if it 5x'd. I don't care if it 20x's. Okay? This coin has no inherent value, no inherent utility. Very similar. I said the same thing about Bonk and Pepe when they first launched, and they absolutely dumped for a long time before coming back. All of this was hype. This was the Melania coin, which we're going to look at in a minute. Okay? And Melania took the wind out of the sales of Trump coin by launching it last night, and it was a ridiculous thing to do. Now, the reason I'm showing you this chart is that at some point it's going to find a bottom, okay? And I think in the video that I made yesterday, I think I said around about here, which was 42, and if we lose, we come down to 37. So around this range here, okay? If you want to buy Trump coin, okay, then do so under the knowledge that you're buying nothing more than a meme coin backed by the President of America. Now, you could see that as a positive thing. It's backed by the President of America, okay? Or you could see that as a negative thing, which is, why is the President of America launching a meme coin 72 hours before he becomes the President of America? World Liberty Finance is a terrible idea. Trump coin is a terrible idea. They do nothing other than wreck people, okay? I watched a couple of videos this morning about a couple of influencers, shillfluencers, whatever you want to call them, who were longing Trump coin here and here. And then this move liquidated all of them. Now, you don't know what Trump's going to say today. He might come out and he might say, buy Trump coin, and it's going to do that, okay? He might come out and say nothing about it, and it could continue to do that. But you don't know which way it's going to go. Now, if you want to buy it on spot, buy Trump on spot. But there is still a chart associated with this coin. And this is 3 days old, okay? And I have rules. You don't buy a coin that's a week old. I think my limit in my videos is about 2 weeks. So the coin's got to be around for 2 weeks. Is it a legitimate project? Yes, it is. Is 80% of the token held by Trump and his aides? Yes. So there is only 20% circulating supply, or there was at launch. 10% sale and 10% for the liquidity pool. 80% is with Trump and his buddies. So I'm going to show you bubble maps in a minute to show you what I mean. We're going to look at Melania. So know that when you buy this coin, over the next year or two, Trump and his friends are going to do nothing but dump this coin on you every single month, okay? And yes, it can go up in value, but it's a cash grab. Now, on the other side, this is great for Solana and it's great for crypto. 500,000 people have come into crypto over the weekend and bought Trump. It stress tested Solana. Brilliant. It stress tested Jupiter, Radium and Orca, okay? And they held up pretty well. So there are positives. Adoption, stress testing, height, value, eyes, all of that is great. But as an investor, you need to understand that you are exit liquidity for Trump and all of his aides and all of his family members that hold this token. Because if they're going to dump 80% of this token on you, the chances are this is going to go to a $10 token or a $15 token, because there's nothing keeping the price up. There's no value, okay? What did they do yesterday with the profits they made from Trump? They bought Ethereum. The World Liberty Finance made, I don't know, what is it, 20 or 30 million dollars, and they went and bought Ethereum. So you're selling your Ethereum and your blue chip assets to buy a coin with no value with 20% circulating supply based on hype. That's what you're buying, and they're buying Ethereum and Solana. Think about it. It makes no sense to buy these coins, and I don't care where it goes. I am more interested in you not losing your money. That's my sole aim, okay? I am not here to make you super rich. If you want to be super rich, go and watch Crypto Banter or Crypto Zaros or Ben. Go and watch one of those guys that are going to give you targets that we're never going to go to, and be happy listening to those targets that aren't going to happen. I'm here to try and be objective as best I can. Right then, moving on to Melania. Now, Melania is the second coin to come out. This is the official meme coin of Melania. And yes, the website is as bad as it looks. And yes, you can buy it from here. You can, I believe, somewhere on here. There we go. The token distribution. This is what we want to see. So this is the breakdown of the token. So 15% you get, 10% for liquidity, so 25%, okay? Now, what's the community? What's the community? Is that their friends? Team vesting, 33%. So that's Melania, Donald, Eric, Barron. And then treasury, 20%. So let's just put this into perspective. 55% of the token is held by the family or in the treasury, which the family controls. And then 20% goes to the community, which we don't know anything about and could very well just be friends and family. So 75% of this token is held by people who are not you, and you can't get your hands on it. And what do you think they're going to do with 75% of the pie? They're going to sell it over time, and you are going to buy it like a patsy, okay? Now, if you thought Trump was bad as a token, this is even worse, because this doesn't even have the backing of the President of America. This is the First Lady, okay? Now, this is what Bubble Maps looks like. Kabir, I hope you are well. This is Bubble Maps, okay? Now, just so you know, this is not what Bubble Maps should look like for a coin. On the right-hand side, which you can't see, there is the wallet list, okay? This is 20%. This is 30%. This is 27%. 77% of the token is held by 3 wallets, okay? That 77% is going to be dumped on you. You are that little tiny dot on the map, okay? This is you, okay? Now, if you were a shark and they were sharks, they are very big sharks. You're not so big. You're a little diddy shark, okay? Over time, this won't look like this. I agree. Now, I'm going to give you a comparison. So remember what this looks like, okay? 3 wallets holding over 3/4 of the supply. Now, let me show you. I don't know which one to look at. This is where I find a coin that looks identical. Okay, this is better, right? You see the distribution of circles is a lot wider and a lot thicker, okay? And you still have about 30% centralized on this token. And this is Gito. Solid project, solid team, know what they're doing, big revenues behind them, okay? Let's try and find another one. Let's see if there is another one. This is a really crap search, by the way. Okay, I'm going to be honest. I typed in Bitcoin and look, it just doesn't work. It doesn't show you Bitcoin. I mean, right. So let's say dog with hat. Okay, another meme coin. Okay, now one of the exchanges is very large. That holds 12%. Another exchange holds 5%. But again, look at the distribution. It's more distributed. And I refer you back one last time so you can see the most we've seen on any of those coins that we've looked at is 30% centralization. This is 3/4 of the coins in 3 wallets. Okay? This is not decentralized. This is them holding onto the tokens, selling you a little bit. You're pumping the price up, and they are going to bleed you dry. Okay? That's what's going to happen. And I know everything looks rosy right now for Trump and Melania, the coins. Everything looks rosy, which is fine because you're buying it. Maybe you're up 3 or 4x. Great. Have you taken any profits? Did you make any money? Did you sell at $70? Did you sell at $60? Have you just held the coin? So you're going to hold the coin all the way up. You're going to hold the coin all the way down. Okay. Now, this was the announcement. The official Melania meme is live. You can now buy it. Yes, it's the valid address. Yes, it's her website. There are community notes associated with this. Yes. But if we go and look at the chart, we showed you the Trump chart before. We're going to show you the Melania chart next. And again, you buy these tokens with caution. Okay? You buy them with caution. You do not buy these coins expecting to make 100x returns. Okay? Because the market cap, the volume is not there. Okay? This is how old this coin is. Okay? It launched on this exchange not long ago, an hour and a bit ago, an hour and a half ago. What's the time now? An hour and 40 minutes ago, this coin launched. Okay. It's at $11. Okay. And it doesn't have the explosive price action that you've seen from Trump. So the poll of the day, as we've said, the poll of the day is, are you going to buy Trump or Melania? 73% of you have said they're going to buy Trump. Good. Because if you gave me 2 doors to escape the madhouse and one said Trump and one said Melania, I would buy Trump. Okay? But remember, it's a madhouse. It's like being in one of those horror films, okay, where you've got to eat the fish guts or you've got to eat the spiders. Okay? You don't want to do either of them. Fish guts or spiders. Which ones you have to eat to get out of the horror house? You got to eat one. Fish guts. Fine. Eat the fish guts, get out. That's what holding Trump and Melania is like. Fish guts and, what was the other one I said? Spiders. Okay? Neither of them are going to do very well. But I understand many of you will be wanting to buy them. And like I said, by the end of today, Trump could be at $100 and you'd be 100% in profit. You're only 100% in profit if you sell it. Okay? Remember that. You only make profits when you lock them in. Now, we had somebody, one of our followers, who bought it at $8 and they sold some at 65 and they sold some about 45. That's how you do it. So let's say you buy 100 at $8 and it goes to $65. You sell 20 of them. Then let's say it drops to 45. You sell 20 of them. Okay? You're up big. Okay, you've got your initial investment back and you're still doing well. You've still made more profit than when you started the day and you've still got 60% of your bag left. So if it does run up, great. But you've got your investment back and you've made a bit of profit. That's the way to do it. You're never going to time the top. You were never going to sell at $75. Okay, that was never going to happen. So try and get an average cost out. If that follower ends up selling his entire bag and getting an average of $45, he bought at 8. He's 5/6x'd his money in 48 hours. What more do you want? Now, Peter Brandt says Cardano is setting up for monster bull rally after forming a bottom. Now, we like forming bottoms, don't we? Okay? Enough of the innuendo, I suppose. Cardano, the governance token of the layer 1. Recently back above $1. Robust buying momentum. Other major currencies, ADA has enjoyed the latest Trump-spurred upsurge, largely due to its parent company, Input Output Global, being a US-based organization. Again, now one of the reasons, there's something else I don't think I've mentioned on here, Trump's been talking about having tax-free profits on US-based coins. So if ADA is based in America and you don't pay tax on the profits, it's going to push the price of ADA up, and XRP. If Solana opens an office in America, Solana. We talked about TON opening an office last Thursday. That's what's going to happen. Now, that could lead, I suppose, to some kind of international thing where some of the other countries start to do tax-free. I know a lot of countries are looking at Bitcoin and having 0% tax on Bitcoin. Some countries it's 20-30% like Italy. So potentially there is a movement away from taxing crypto the same way you tax everything else. Make no doubt about it, Cardano ADA USD has bottomed for a grand bull market. Now let's see what price targets he gives us. So Trump has talked about creating a strategic reserve. Now, in my video that I made, my predictions for 2025, another one of my predictions, as well as those ETFs, was that he wasn't just going to use Bitcoin in the strategic reserve. The same way that the National Strategic Reserve is not just one thing. It is gold, it is also oil, it is also wheat. It makes no sense to have one cryptocurrency in a strategic reserve, and makes perfect sense to have maybe 5 or 6. Maybe it's XRP, maybe it's Solana and Cardano, Bitcoin and Ethereum. Maybe it's those 5, and they will blow the back doors off when that is announced. Maybe there is a Bitcoin strategic reserve and a cryptocurrency strategic reserve. There is no rule to say they don't have two, okay? And in the cryptocurrency one, they have everything but Bitcoin, and in the Bitcoin one, they just keep their Bitcoin. Charles declared himself as a recognized voice. We know about that. That was one of the reasons that we had the pump. Cardano has inched closer to its next milestone, which is fully decentralization. Charles came out over the weekend and was talking about a couple of things. Introducing the Ripple stablecoin to Cardano is second on their list of things that they need to do. And they're also looking, and this is the big one, this is the alpha that you only get here. Cardano have set aside $20 or $30 million to help Cardano projects get listed on major exchanges. Okay, that's the big news. Straight out of Charles's mouth on Saturday or Sunday, can't remember which. So what does that mean? It means that the Cardano projects will be listed on centralized exchanges. What does that mean? It means Cardano will pump. There is cause, there is effect. Solana has pumped over the weekend because one of its coins has A, appeared out of nowhere, and B, pumped. So if that can happen to Solana, what's going to happen to Cardano, which is an untouched field, okay? There's a few trees and a few sheep in the corner and a cow by the river, but there's nothing there because they're not listed on exchanges. You've got the odd one like Snek is listed. So Charles is going to go down the hype route now, which is fine. I'm going to be spending quite a bit of time working with the lawmakers. We know that. Now, we're not going to, I don't think we've got that much time left. We've got 10 minutes, so we're not going to look at the Cardano chart. What I would say, I'm going to give you a hand on heart price target for Cardano. A minimum of $3 this year, I think, is wholly achievable. Potentially, with the strategic reserve and maybe an ETF thrown in along the way, maybe $4 to $5. And again, if you want a $25 prediction for Cardano, go and watch Jason Appleton, Crypto Crow. Great streamer, very knowledgeable guy. Number one, for me, the number one Cardano streamer. So if you want to know enough or know a lot more about Cardano than what we do on this channel, go and follow him. He will probably give you a higher target. I'm happy with $3. I'm ecstatic with $5. Absolutely ecstatic with $5. We're at $1 now. Maybe we're at more. What are we now on Cardano? Are we at $1.10? Something like that? I think we're about that target. Let's wait for it to refresh and see that it's absolutely crashed down to 80 cents. And the market has crashed while we were talking. Let's have a look. Cardano refresh. Cardano refresh, $1.08. Okay. Again, going to $3 gives it a $100 billion market cap. That is a significant milestone. Okay. Solana, like we said before, Solana going to $2,500 gives it a $1.2 trillion market cap. It's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Even my prediction of $600 gives it a $300 billion market cap. I think that's achievable. Okay. Dogecoin shouldn't be there. Okay. But Cardano, I could easily see hitting 100 billion. So, you know, just bear that in mind when you're looking at your expectations for this year. I think 300% profit in a year, 200% profit in a year, 400% profit in a year, whatever coins you've got. I mean, you're never going to get that anywhere else. You're not going to get that from your bank. You're not going to get that from stocks and shares unless you're buying Tesla and things like that. But you're not going to get that anymore. Now then, Solana price is breaking out of this bullish pattern. Solana to $4,700. Have I never read such a title with so little fact as this? Okay, I told you 2,600 was unachievable. 4,700, Mr. Sewell, is BS. It's absolute BS. That's a 20x, 18x from where we are now. So we're talking about the market cap of Bitcoin plus some, making it the 5th largest asset in the world. Again, the further we go into the bull run, the more crap people are going to tell you. Okay? And I have to be very careful what I say. I know that. But sometimes stupid things are said. Okay? And they're not said because Mr. Sewell isn't intelligent. I'm sure he's very intelligent. But it's wholly unrealistic. I will get to Crow. ADA all-time high time frame. Everything is November for me. Everything is November. Maybe October. If you look at the all-time high, it's 8 weeks round trip. So that doesn't mean November the 20th you sell. It means it will start on October the 20th, run all the way up to November the 20th, and then all the way down to December the 20th. That's the standard blow off top. And I did the research on this for the OGs, maybe in November, maybe in January, I can't remember which. I've made a video for the OGs. There is a 2-month, 8-week period where we start to ramp up, and then we peak, and then we come down. It doesn't happen in a day, it happens in about 8 weeks. So if that's the case, Cardano will hit all-time highs probably this side of summer. Then we'll have the summer lull, and then we will probably run off to November. But remember, the big thing about Cardano is Charles is going to demonstrate the Cardano blockchain processing Bitcoin transactions at the Bitcoin conference, which I believe is October, which is perfect timing. So you could sell Cardano at $2 in May, for example, wait for the lull, buy back in at $1, $1.10, ride it up to the announcement. And believe you me, Charles Hoskinson standing on stage at the Bitcoin blockchain conference and demonstrating Cardano processing Bitcoin transactions, or whatever, however they decide to demonstrate it, is absolutely massive. Because if Cardano can get into Bitcoin in a safe and secure way, there is no chain on earth I would trust more than Cardano. Okay, Solana is amazing. Yes, Ethereum, amazing. But for technical abilities to do something, Cardano doesn't make anything and then it doesn't work. Okay, we had loads of teething problems 2 years ago on Cardano, loads of them. Okay, I had that coin that was airdropped for the exchange. It was a nightmare. So all-time high, 8-week period, October to December-ish. The other question is Crow. I'm going to talk about Crow in a minute when I've got through this, and then I'll answer the question, Tariq, at the end as well. I have got a Q&A thing, which I've got rid of. I had a Q&A thing there, but it's gone. because nobody asked any questions, or I answered them during the stream. Solana has been in red hot form over the past week. New all-time high this weekend. Trump token. Okay. According to a popular crypto analyst on social media, the platform could be on its way to 4,700. Ali Martinez shared an interesting update on Solana price setup. According to the crypto trader, the price of Solana has just broken out of a bullish pattern. Yes, it has. It's a cup and handle. Yes. The cup and handle pattern services as a bullish indicator suggesting an upward trend is going to continue. Okay, it is going to continue, but it's not going to continue to $4,700. There is not enough money in this bull run to get Solana to $4,700. There's not enough money. With no ETF, which may or may not happen, we are not going to go to $4,700. So this cup and handle is great, okay? It's lovely. It's a beautiful shape. And I agree, we're going up. But we are not going up at that speed. It's not going to happen, okay? That would make Brogan probably a millionaire because he was buying Solana at $12. So you work out $12 to $4,700 and you tell me, is that likely in 3 years? Because it absolutely isn't. It's not going to happen. Don't listen to them. If we get to $600 to $700 to $800 in October or November, in my opinion, non-financial advice, I am going to be selling. And I have. All my Ethereum is liquid, so it's unstaked. All of my Solana is liquid and unstaked, and it's only a 5-day unbonding period. So I am sitting on liquid Solana, liquid Ethereum, liquid XRP, 3 days unlocking on Cardano, and everything else is liquid. The only thing I've got that isn't liquid is a portion of my CRO, which is locked on the chain, which has got 21 days. That's it. But that's only about 30% of my CRO. Everything is ready for whatever happens this year. Now, Vitalik, they're going to have an overhaul of their leadership at the Ethereum Foundation to boost technical focus. Again, this is not the headline that I would want to see. Okay, there is a problem with Cardano adoption. There is a problem with Solana. It keeps going down. The problem with Ethereum is Vitalik. He is the problem, okay? And anyone watching this that's an ETH maxi will laugh at me and say, I am off my rocker, okay? There are very few billion-dollar companies, where the founder retained so much control and direction over the company, okay? Even Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla, Elon Musk does not have the amount of control over Tesla or SpaceX that Vitalik has over the Ethereum Foundation, okay? The dissenting voices that you need to make critical decisions are not there. Vitalik, I said this before, he should go away and work in a skunk works where all the brains in Ethereum go and operate. And then the other side of the foundation should work on PR, attracting businesses to the Ethereum blockchain, working with the layer 2s, all of that kind of thing. And there needs to be a division of labor in that organization. Now, will it stay number 2? For now, absolutely. Is Vitalik going to lead Ethereum to rack and ruin? No, I am not talking about the end of Ethereum. I'm saying this is one of the cleverest guys in crypto. His sole focus should be on getting Ethereum to be the best blockchain possible. And he knows he's still got a 5 or 6 year plan ahead of him. He needs more faces. If Vitalik, if something happened to him tomorrow, that chain would be screwed, okay? Not in terms of the technical people there, in terms of the face of Ethereum. Now, there is not a single person who becomes incapacitated in Bitcoin that is going to cause it to come down. Okay, Charles is no longer in charge of Cardano. Okay, Anatoly isn't really a face of Solana. Solana's own projects are the face of Solana, so he's not that critical. But Vitalik is so critical to Ethereum that if anything happens to him, or he starts to mess up, because he's very naive as well in terms of how the world works. He's very naive, but he just needs to sort himself out. Anyway, we're going to move on. I'm going to answer the questions at the end. So, Crow. The question about Crow is, where is Crow going to go? Okay. The problem with Crow is the same problem that 90% of tokens have got out there at the minute, and that is FOMO. You have lots and lots of chains crying about Trump, crying about Solana, simply because their coins are not pumping, and that is human nature. Okay, that is the way that human nature works. Okay, the projects that have the eyes on them at this moment in time are the projects in the top 10 and the top 20. If your coin is not eyes on, and there's no volume, if there's no reason to buy the token, then no one's going to buy the token, and it's going to go down in value. But as we've seen over the weekend, Solana pumped because of the Trump coin, and then everything dumped apart from the coins that hold value. And everyone is now slating Ethereum. Ethereum will be at $4,000 probably by the end of well, it depends. End of March, let's say end of March. Crow is at 12 or 13 cents, and everyone's talking about it like it's the end of the world. It's sitting on top of its bull market support band. Okay, it's not in the gutter. Okay, a 12-cent Crow is the equivalent of about a 40 or 50 cent ADA. ADA was at 20 cents, 22 cents. This time last year, I think Crow was about 5 or 6 cents. So it's 1.5x in 12 months. Good return. The bull run, i.e. the September, October, November, the October, November, December bull run, is where coins can go up a 10x in a month. And it can happen. Absolutely it can happen. I don't think Crow is going to $2.71. I think Crow will go somewhere 70 cents to $1. That's what my heart says. 70 cents to $1. My head says 70 cents to $1. My heart says it might go to 120, 130. But there, for me, it's a realistic target. That's a 10x. Now, a 10x for a coin, which is here, puts it at a $35 billion market cap. It's nothing, okay? There are other coins around here. Arbitrum can easily go to 31 billion. ASI at $1.24, I've been saying for ages it should be a $5 coin. That would put it at 12 billion. Okay, so all of these coins down here can easily 5 to 10x. Well, 5x on Kronos takes it to 65 cents. I said 70 cents to $1, so it's not far off. It's easily achievable for Kronos to do that. And it's had an 8.2% jump off its bull market support band. So for me, I think you're still looking at a 5-8x on Kronos. Absolutely. There's no reason. It's FOMO. It's people thinking, why isn't my coin going up? If we did 7 days, for example, we did 7 days and go back to the top. Right. Trump is up 740% in a week. Okay? 740% up in a week because their eyes are on it and it's got the FOMO. Okay? Does it make it a better meme coin than Brett? Based solely on the PR of Donald Trump, yes, it does. But it doesn't make it better than Movement or Mantle. It doesn't make it better than Sonic. It doesn't make it better than the coins that aren't doing very well. Floki, Pepe, it doesn't make it better than them. It's because it's got the spin behind it. That's why it's ripped to the upside. and it's likely to come down and go up and come down and go up like the market does. But it's got to find its feet at what price level it wants to be at. And it's FOMO. People holding Sonic are sitting there looking miserable, watching Trump rip. And there's nothing worse. Imagine you're sitting in a coffee shop on your own, drinking your coffee, and it's raining outside and it's bloody miserable. And across the road from you, there's a party, and everyone's got cake and trifle, and everyone's dancing to YMCA and having a good time. You're going to FOMO that party. If you're not an introvert, of course, you're going to want to be at that party. It's just human nature. The green-eyed monster is going to get you, and you're going to sell your Ethereum and buy Trump at $70. And if you'd have done that yesterday, you'd have lost 30% of your investment already. It doesn't pay to chase the pump. It doesn't pay to chase tornadoes. If you packed your bags in September, nothing on earth should separate you from those coins other than a fundamental change in those businesses. So if Chainlink, if the CEO, the CTO, the CEO all stepped down and said, it's not going to work anymore, guys, we're finished, then maybe you sell out of Chainlink. Okay? It's not going to happen. But don't go and chase Trump. You could say it's more than likely going to be a pump and Trump. Anyway. Right, it is 12:06. It's the end of the stream. What question have I got? One more on here. I will count on you for $2,000 to sell my soul. We're not going to $2,000. We are not going to $2,000 for Solana. 600 to 1,000 is likely. Now then, I'm ill. I don't feel very well, so I'm going to go. Thank you everybody for tuning in. I will try and make a video or two today, and if I can't, I might just go to bed. But 71% are buying Trump, 29% are buying Melania. If you're going to buy one, buy Trump. It's not a bad price. Maybe it bottoms at $50, $44, or even if you look at my chart, $38. Okay? If you want to buy one, go and buy one of them. Anyway, thank you, John, Tariq. Who else is in here? Kishan is in here. Mags was in here. I didn't say hello to Mags. Have a great day. I will see you all tomorrow.